이런 거 처음 해보네.
자, 인사도 하십시오. 데미안.
Welcome back to the drama storyline, The Player 2, Master of Swindlers. Hori still didn't expect the person who met him is the president of South Korea. Meanwhile, the president just wants to confirm whether Hori is someone who can see the same goals as him. That the three of them have the same enemy. And maybe in that long fight, there will be those who betray. That's why he didn't want someone like that around him. So, he needs people who are willing to do anything like Kong Hori and Secretary Yoon Soo-min. However, Hori is still doubtful, because a president can fight anyone with great power. The president explained that as president, he could not move according to his wishes. So, he asked Hori to replace him as a player. Junwoo, the crasher, was drinking again at a bar. When he came out of the bar, he saw a motorbike like the one Sang-wook was riding. He got angry and kicked the motorbike. Then Jinwoong hit him on the head. He pretended to be Junwoo's old friend and pretended to be close to him until he strangled his neck. And at that time Byamin came and took Junwoo's cell phone. Jinwoong said that they had served in the military together. But Junwoo got angry and said that he was exempt from military service. Then Jinwoong apologized because it seemed like he recognized the wrong person. Junwoo still didn't accept it and said harshly. But Jinwoong asked him not to escalate the problem because he once hit someone and got away scot-free. Prosecutor Kwok and Soo-min meet. It turns out they went to law school together. He thought Soo-min worked in the legal field, but ended up running around with Hori. Prosecutor Kwok was curious about that. How Soo-min is on the same side as a criminal like Hori. Soo-min explained that it suited herself. And Prosecutor Kwok can indict her if he has strong evidence. Jae met sculpture artist Jeonjaeng. He used to be famous in the underground art world, but kept a low profile because he didn't release any works of art. Hangul was a bit angry when he saw Jae, who suddenly entered his room. Jae asked Hangul to make art for her. But Hangul didn't want to and told him to leave. Then Jae showed a bag filled with cash. And finally, he was willing to make it. In Baekhyunmi's art gallery, there is an art influencer, Yuna. She's among the top 5 art collectors, and has 890,000 followers. Hyunmi asked to spread the good news about her gallery and give her something in return. Then Yuna posed and uploaded her photo on her social media. Jinwoong and Byamin suddenly come and pretend to be Yuna's fans. He admired Yuna so much that it made her smile and shy. Then Byamin showed a list of London art graduates. Undisclosed advertising contracts and tax avoidance. There is also a criminal record for fraud. Yuna gets scared and asks if they are threatening her. Then Byamin asked her for something. Hori and Soo-min went to a place filled with works of art. Hori asked Soo-min to choose an item and he would buy it. After selecting, Hori named the item Flower Prison and would value it at $300,000. And at that time someone took a photo of the two of them. Byamin made Hori into Damian Lee, who has many followers on social media. He uploaded a photo of the day holding the vase he got, and many people liked it. And Jae and the sculpture artist are also preparing works of art. Hori is very handsome when doing photo shoots and like a real artist. The photos are very good. Hori became famous as Damian Lee and many people talked about him. The work of Damian Lee, Flower Prison, is up for sale at auction. Hori's team was there and was a guest who took part in auctioning the vase. Baekhyunmi also observed the auction from behind. They started the auction and Hari's team joined in the auction to get a high price. Everyone was shocked when Jin-woong auctioned it at a high price. They were afraid that the vase would be bought by their own team. And then there was a man who auctioned over Jin-woong's price and the flower prison vase was sold to that man. Hyun-mi, who saw this, became interested in Damian Lee and asked her assistant to investigate him. And finally, Hori was invited by Hyun-mi to attend the party at the Beck's gallery. According to Sumin, it was a fast response. That's because she was fast when she smelled the scent of money. Finally, Hori comes to Beck's gallery party and Hyun-mi welcomes him. Thank you for being invited. Hyun-mi was impressed by the work he auctioned. When Hyun-mi discussed Hori's place of study at the British National Academy, Hori was confused when answering because he didn't study there. Then Hyun-mi's guest was waiting is arrived. He is Jonathan, a person who studied at the same place as Damian Lee. Hyun-mi guessed that they must know each other. Hori was confused about how to answer, and suddenly Jonathan seemed to know Damian Lee well. Apparently previously Jin-woong and Mr. Hwang meet Jonathan. They disguised themselves as police who were investigating a company that used illegal tactical funds using works of art. Jonathan insists he was not involved. Then Jin-woong explained that they needed his help in the investigation. That's why Jonathan pretends to know Jonathan and Hyun-mi believes them. Hori gets a call and angry about something. Hyun-mi, who heard that, approached Hori and asked what was the problem. Hori explained that he was waiting for a shipment from America and needed a place to store it. But he didn't have room to store it because it was big. Then Hyun-mi offered to help. And finally, Hori's artwork arrives at Beck's gallery. The statue was put in storage. And the room uses an automatic system. Hori was curious about behind the black curtain that was there. Then Hyun-mi opened the curtain and it contained a painting that was worth tens of millions of dollars. Hori pretended to be amazed by what he saw. Then Hyun-mi invited Hori to her office to sign the agreement. When it was quiet, Jae suddenly came out of the statue. And when Jae opened the curtain, suddenly the alarm in the room went off. It turns out that the storage room uses a vacuum system. So, the system turns on as soon as the warehouse door is closed. Hearing that, Hori became shocked and worried about Jae. Jin-woong and Byaman panicked and checked the situation on the laptop. When Hori asked to go to the toilet, there was something strange about Hyun-mi's smile. Hori then asked Jae to leave the room. But Jae persisted and wanted to try it. They all panicked when they heard Jae was out of breath. And Byaman is still trying to get around the security in the storage room. They asked Jae to hold on, but Jae is unconscious. Then Hori approached Hyun-mi in a hurry and said that he was constipated. Hyun-mi had an invited guest and he was the sculpture artist, Jeonjaeng. It turns out that he previously met Hyun-mi and said that her warehouse was going to be broken into. That Damian Lee's real name is Kong Hori. Hori was shocked and cornered. He tried to explain to Hyun-mi. They went to the storage room. Hori looked pale and looked around. And suddenly, another guest came. They were Prosecutor Kwok and his team. It turns out that the prosecutor previously called Hyun-mi. Then they were about to open the door on the statue, but Hori blocked it. And there was nothing on the horse statue. Hyun-mi was shocked when she opened the curtain. There are paintings there that have been used to bribe people. Then Hyun-mi asked Prosecutor Kwok to leave. And suddenly the paintings came down and evidence of the bribery was visible. It was a bribery ledger and Prosecutor Kwok asked his team to collect the evidence and asked to escort back Hyun-mi politely. But Prosecutor Kwok handcuffed Hori for fraud. Then Jang-go gave the USB to the prosecutor. The USB contains a voice recording between Hyun-mi and Jang-go, which discusses the secret of bribery carried out by Hyun-mi. And Prosecutor Kwok already has enough evidence from the recording to imprison Hyun-mi. Hori and his team celebrate their victory. Hori thanks Jae for doing a good job. Jae managed to survive and crack the code. While in the storage room, she disguised herself as a policeman who was there with Prosecutor Kwok. Jun-woo, the crasher, was at the airport and was going abroad. Then there was news about him hitting someone while drunk. Seeing the news, he covered his face and tried to get away from the crowd. But the reporters saw him and he couldn't move. And at that time the police came and arrested him. Sang-wook's father and mother are still sad because they lost their son. Mr. Hwang comes to their shop and gives donations in the name of Anonymous to Sang-wook's parents. Sang-wook's parents were very grateful and they cried together. It turns out the donation money was from Jin-woong. Hori and Soo-min chat while enjoying wine. Hori asks how much does Soo-min trust President Choi. Soo-min explained that he was like a father to her. He's a friend of her deceased father and he becomes Soo-min's guardian. Whenever Soo-min is in trouble, he always supports her. Hori investigates President Choi with the cases he has been and is currently facing. That President Choi was involved in Soo-min's previous boyfriend's accident. In Hori's room, there is a camera installed there, and President Choi was the one who installed the camera. Thank you for watching the storyline of the drama The Player 2, Master of Swindlers Episode 5. Please like, subscribe and share.